and I just want to show you a little bit about how to make sure that your tack is properly fitting your horse. Before I show you how to fit the tack, I just want to talk about why it's important to make sure that your tack fits your horse. The horse's tongue is actually connected to the muscles that run down the front of their neck, into their chest, and down the front of their legs. So if your bit doesn't fit correctly or it's too strong for your horse, it can cause them a lot of pain throughout their neck and the front of their legs and their neck. So this is just a regular D-ring bit that we have on him. It shouldn't be too close to their mouth. You don't want it to look like it's pinching the corners of their mouth. You should also be able to see two little wrinkles. It shouldn't really look like they're smiling, but you should be able to see wrinkles next to the bit. You also want to make sure that the bit isn't too far away from the side of their mouth and it's not too low in their mouth. The next thing is the saddle. The fit of the saddle is really important because it sits right here, and this is where their shoulder blades join together. So if the saddle is pinching them up here, it can restrict the movement of the shoulder blades. And if it is touching their spine or pinching their back, it can cause them pain through their back, which will cause them to drop their back, disengage their abdominal muscles, and lift their head up. And that's not the way we want our horses to move. So some ways to check to make sure that your saddle is fitting your horse properly. One really great way to do it is to actually ride in the saddle. And that helps us a lot because it shows us where exactly the saddle is touching through the sweat marks. So it's kind of hard to see, but on the saddle pad there are sweat marks, and all the sweat marks are even, and there isn't one side that's worse than the other. There's not a lot of sweat along the middle where his spine would be, so that's a really good thing. You can also look at the sweat marks on them. It's hard to see on this horse because he's got such a dark coat color, but you should be able to see just the outline of the saddle where the saddle sits. And you shouldn't see any really sweaty marks along their spine. You don't want the saddle to touch their spine. The last way you can tell if you don't want to ride in your saddle, a great way to check the fit of your saddle is to put the saddle on without any saddle pads or anything. You'll put it on right where it's supposed to sit. And as you can see, there's no, if I put pressure on the front of it or if I put pressure on the back of it, it doesn't rock back and forth. It fits him well. I can sit and do this and it's not going to slide off. If you look through the very center of it, right where his spine should be, you should be able to see a little bit of air. You don't want anything touching his spine. You also want to check and see if you can put just the tips of your fingers up underneath the pommel of your saddle. You don't want anything to be too tight on him, because that just makes it uncomfortable. So again, you want to make sure you can fit the tips of your fingers right there. So that's how you check to make sure that your tack is properly fitting your horse. I hope this can help you guys, and thanks for watching.